quite likely that some auditors are buying views and subscribers. I don't pretend that there's firm proof, but I will present here evidence that comes close to proving it. All this evidence is open source, i.e. it's taken from public sources that are free and freely available to anyone with an internet connection. On Social Blade, you can look up any YouTube channel and see the channel stats, and when you look up auditing channels on Social Blade, you'll find some suspicious indications. For instance, here's the stats for Marti Blagborough. It shows that at the end of May this year he lost more than 40,000 views in one day. To the casual eye, these sudden drops in views could suggest that Mr Blagborough is buying fake views. We'll come back to Mr Blagborough. We do need to be careful about drawing conclusions from Social Blade, and it's important to take into account the surrounding circumstances and not interpret the data in isolation. To show you why, let's take a look at what Social Blade says about my own channel, Street Video Reviewer. My own Social Blade stats show a drop of 14,000 views in one day. That's because on or around that particular day, I took down about 15 of my videos as part of a cleanup of my back catalogue. Something like that could be the explanation for the stats we see for auditors. There's no way to be sure. Also, every so often, YouTube will purge inactive, suspended and closed accounts from their analytics. This will result in a drop in numbers. For instance, on my Social Blade page for Street Video Reviewer, it shows a recent drop of 10 subscribers, which will be for that reason. My Social Blade stats also show 2 points recently when I have a negative views gain figure. The first time was a drop of around 14,400 and the second time was a drop of just over 12,000 views. This happens because views have dropped sharply during that period and YouTube is making an adjustment to this. My point is that all these things can happen innocently, so it's pretty much impossible to be certain that a YouTuber is buying views and subscribers, but it does happen. Google has a fake engagement policy which states as follows. YouTube doesn't allow anything that artificially increases the number of views, likes, comments or other metrics, either by using automatic systems or serving up videos to unsuspecting viewers. Content that solely exists to incentivize viewers for engagement, views, likes, comments, etc. is also prohibited. Content and channels that don't follow this policy may be terminated and removed from YouTube. I should add to that YouTube has some pretty sophisticated AI fraud detection that is improving by the day. Even something as fundamental as the algorithm to calculate YouTube view count is a closely guarded secret as well, and constantly updated too. Buying subs and views is not a good idea. It's great business for companies offering the service while throwing the channel under the wheels of the AI fraud detection juggernaut. Not worth it. Before we go further, let's define some terms that are relevant to all this. Sub-bots are a paid-for service in which you buy a load of bot subscribers to inflate your numbers. Organic subs are also a paid-for service in which you buy subscribers who are supposedly actual people. You can also buy views. Yes, believe it or not, you can buy subscribers and viewers for your YouTube channel. Here's an example of the services on offer, called Views for You. As you can see, you can buy subscribers, views and likes from Views for You. It costs a lot of money. 10,000 views, for instance, will set you back $35.50. On QQTube, a similar service, 100,000 YouTube views will set you back $420. I assume these prices are quoted in US dollars. Lots of websites offer this sort of service. Why people would do this, frankly, is beyond me because, apart from the risk of being scammed, fake engagement will usually be detected by YouTube anyway. All you're going to achieve in doing if you go down this route is flood your channel with subscriptions from bot accounts who are not going to actually engage with your content, and your channel will end up being terminated. It's just not worth it. Purchase subs are usually bots, so if you want the views to continue, you'll have to pay the vendor over and over. Purchase subs will also upset the algorithm as it won't understand who's watching and why. I think what may motivate some YouTubers to go down this route is social proofing. People think that if they can have a channel with lots of subscribers, that will attract more subscribers, and in some contexts that may work. But even if the service promises to provide real subscribers and real followers, as some of the more sophisticated ones do, ultimately you're building your channel on sand and it will all crumble. Personally, I would prefer to grow a YouTube presence organically and build on solid foundations. There is another type of sort of quasi-fake engagement in which channel owners offer incentives to subscribe to their channels.
For the next 7 days, I'm going to be giving 1,000 random people that subscribe a free Samsung Galaxy S24. I literally spent over $1 million on these phones, and I'm giving them away to you. All you have to do to enter to win one of these phones is subscribe. It's literally free. I just want you to know I appreciate everything you guys have been doing for the channel. It means the world to me. Subscribe, win one of these phones.
It's not exactly against YouTube's own rules to do this, but probably it results in a correction later because many of those new subscribers who just joined in the hope of winning a phone will not actually engage any further with his channel. How do we spot possible signs of the more surreptitious types of fake engagement? Here are 6 signs that an auditor or any YouTuber may be paying for views or subscribers. First, a sudden and huge jump in views or subscribers. Having only a few hundred subscribers or less one day and then gaining a few thousand the next is not within the norm and unlikely to be the result of organic engagement unless a video has gone viral. A high view count or subscriber count versus a low number of comments. A sudden and significant decrease in views or subscribers. This is the one that we'll highlight here on the channels of PJ Audits and Marti Blagborough, which I'll get into in a few moments. A high view count or subscriber count on a new channel. Again, this is unlikely to be the result of organic engagement. Subscribers with generic or blank profiles. Subscribers with fake-sounding names. Now, when I looked into all this recently, I decided to focus on the first 3 listed there, as they're easy to detect using both YouTube itself and Social Blade. When assessing a channel for fake engagement, the first thing to look at is the ratio of subscribers to views. If a channel has a lot more subscribers than views, that could indicate something is going on, especially if the subscriber numbers are very high, i.e. in the tens of thousands. Or to put it more precisely, the question to ask is the number of views that the channel is averaging concomitant with the number of subscribers? It's a subjective assessment. An extreme example which I've seen, but it wasn't an auditing channel, so I won't mention the name of the channel here. It was someone with around 150,000 subscribers but receiving only a few hundred views for each video. How I check this is that I bring up all the channel videos and I put them in the order of the most popular. This channel has 74,000 subscribers and the most popular video has 330,000 views, and obviously this is based on as at today. It will change probably by the time you watch this, and you'll see that the numbers go down from there as you scroll down through the 200,000s, 100,000s, and the vast majority of the 939 videos he's uploaded so far have less than 100,000 views, which again is normal, nothing suspicious in it, and he has a total of 31.7 million views on his channel as at today. That seems pretty normal, to be fair. If he was receiving only a small number of views, it would be potentially suspicious, but that's not the case for DJE Media. You can't just base your assessment then on one video. For instance, looking at the channel Autistic Audits UK 2, he has around 9,600 subscribers as at today. A very recent video of his about the St George's Day parade in Manchester has earned more than 140,000 views. On the surface that seems odd given that the majority of his videos attract a much lower level of views, especially when it's a very ordinary video without much drama in it. On the other hand, if we look back through his content, the views and engagement levels seem pretty normal for the most part for somebody with his level of subscribers. We can't rule out the possibility that he is buying fake engagement, but it doesn't look like he is. This is where Social Blade, to go back to that site, can be useful after all, because it shows all the stats going back at least months, sometimes years, and you can ask yourself, do the stats for this channel stack up? Do they make sense? But let me stress again, you can't look at the stats in isolation. For instance, if you find that from the stats that there is a high subscriber count but low views and various other suspicious things, you then have to consider the bigger question of whether there may be reasons for it specific to that channel. Reasons could include that videos have been taken down or set to private. Maybe the channel blew up over one video, but that was a one-off and has not had views at the same level since. Maybe someone mentioned the channel and it gained a lot of subscribers over a few days, but the views have stayed the same. These things can happen, so even when something looks suspicious, you have to do the research. Going back to my own channel, take a look at these charts which show monthly gained subscribers and monthly gained views since August 2023. You'll see that the charts correlate to each other, which makes sense. That doesn't mean that the lack of correlation on anyone's channel would be an indication of fake engagement, but it could suggest that together with other evidence. If we look at the same charts on DJE Media's Social Blade entry, they roughly correlate again. Whatever else may be said about him, I think his engagement looks genuine on the face of it. If you look on his channel homepage, his subscriber and view figures and his engagements such as likes and comments all look normal to me. If we now go back to Autistic Audits UK 2, who I mentioned earlier, again you can see there's a rough correlation in the two charts for subscribers gained and views gained. Also, you'll see that there's no spike in subscribers or views around the time of the St George's Day Parade video back in April 2023. In the case of DJ Audits, he has had drop points in his Social Blade stats for May this year of 71,000 and 153,000 views respectively. However, his charts on Social Blade look normal. You can see the clear correlation pattern between his subscribers and views. Again, whatever else may be said about him, his stats are normal and I'm not convinced he has used fake engagement on his channel. I also looked at the Laughing Auditor's stats on Social Blade. He has dropped views a couple of times. Here you see 25,000 and 21,000 views dropped, and the chart here of his views gained also shows significant drops in views. However, I don't believe any of this is suspicious in this case, mainly because these drops are within the norm for a channel with some 41,000 subscribers. And because if you look at these charts for views and subscribers gained, they correlate. You'll see, and as do the charts for total views and subscribers, which show that the growth of his channel has been steady. I can't be sure, but I see no evidence here that he has bought fake engagement. Another example of how the charts on Social Blade can help is shown on Auditing Britain's Social Blade stats. You can see here his monthly charts and you can see that they correlate, and the weekly charts show steady growth, which means that although there are one or two suspicious points in his stats, I'm inclined to put them down to innocent causes and say that there's no evidence of fake engagement. There are some channels I am suspicious of. First, I want to show you a channel that looks suspicious and probably does have fake engagement in it, but the causes are likely to be mixed. So the purpose of this is just to show you how careful you need to be when treating stats from Social Blade. Someone looking at this channel called Ash would quickly conclude that it is built on fake engagement. Social Blade tells us a story. He has 17,500 subscribers, but only 320,000 channel views. If we now look at his channel, we can see that the highest number of views he's had on a single video is some 57,000 at the time I made this video, which is his most recent of his content uploaded in the last few days. On his views and subscribers gain charts, we can see that something happened in August 2022. In that month he jumped by nearly 8,000 subscribers just in that one month, but he also lost 1.2 million views in June 2022, a few months earlier. What makes it look even more suspicious is that he has had two further drops. You can see them here on his graph, which shows him dropping by 1.5 million in April 2023 and a further 850,000 in January this year. Then if we scroll down a bit more, we can see that his graphs for total views and total subscribers are completely out of kilter. And in the 2 months before he dropped 850,000 views earlier this year in January, his views had climbed from 20-odd thousand up to more than 900,000. To anyone looking at this, that just screams fake. I think in reality some of it is fake, some of it isn't. 8,000 subscribers in 1 month is likely to be fake because it's a completely sudden radical jump, so it does look like he has been buying subscribers. I think the other numbers are genuine, though. The explanation for the low view count on his channel is that he has in the past taken all his videos down, so we do need to take that into account. The explanation for the drop in views of 850,000 in January this year is because he again took all his videos down. It's possible that the other two drops in views are a sign that he has been buying fake bots and YouTube have detected it, but we can't be sure. Here are the social blade stats from PJ Audits. You'll see that back in October 2023, more than 11 million views were removed from his channel by YouTube. Yet he only has 71,000 subscribers, and typically nowadays he gets around 10,000 to 20,000 views currently on his content. I appreciate that his views were average views per video were probably higher in the past, but really that drop of 11 million has to be due to fake engagement. In my opinion, it has to be, because it's completely out of scale to his stats. It cannot be the result of taking videos down. You can see this thrown into stark relief by looking at his weekly charts, and you can now perhaps see my point. They don't match as they would on a genuine channel. You can see clearly the correction that took place in October 2023. I think he has been buying views and probably buying subscribers. If we look at the charts, you'll see he had a drop in subscribers at about the same time. I've also noticed that in recent times he's stopped going out to make videos and instead is making reaction videos from his own home in which he reviews his previous audits. He explains it by saying he's getting old.
Hi everybody, it's PJ here. It's getting a lot now, travelling an hour and a half, 2 hours each way to go out making all these videos. So I do need to start thinking about taking a step back and just taking life a little easier. It's getting a bit much for me now.
There. Is a real reason that YouTube have found him out and are clawing back any revenue he now earns from his channel? I think it could well be. I mentioned Marti Blagborough earlier. I think you know what's coming next. Here are his stats from November 2023. You'll see that he had a drop of 100 subscribers in one day. That can only be the result of a YouTube audit, and it could be because he bought fake subscribers, but to be fair, it doesn't have to be for that reason. Given the number of subscribers he has, which is currently in excess of 65,000, it may just be an innocent removal by YouTube of defunct subscribers. He does have several suspicious jumps in his subscriber charts, but my main concern here is with his view counts. Here we have Marti Blagborough's monthly social blade stats from 2023. You'll see the figures in red. 19,000 views taken back, over 2,700 on another day, then more than 51,000, 40,000 at the end of May. There could be an innocent explanation for it. He may just be unlucky and his account has been targeted by bots, or it could again just be YouTube averaging out his views stats. But it could also be that he's buying fake views. Worse than all that is what we see on his views gained chart, which shows that he had a negative views gained figure in October 2022 of 2.7 million, and in November of that year of more than 4 million. That is way out of whack for his stats. His channel only has just over 65,000 subscribers, as I said earlier. It can only be because he was buying views. Of course I can't be certain. There could be an innocent explanation that I, as a channel owner myself, haven't yet come across, but nothing springs to mind. You can see the effect of a views drop at the end of 2022 in his total views chart, which we see here. You can see that the two charts correlate and seem normal up to the end of 2022, when the views chart suddenly drops from 15.3 million channel views to 12.3 million. That's clearly a correction. For the purposes of control, let's compare the stats for Marti Blagborough and PJ Audits respectively with an account that we can assume to be legitimate, run by people known to be honest. The Church of England has a YouTube channel, and I can't imagine they would stand for any jiggery-pokery. Here's the stats. I don't see any large drops in viewers or subscribers. You'll see the charts seem to correlate in the same way those on my channel do. All looks normal to me. The sun shines on the righteous. Unfortunately, some lost souls have turned away from the way of our Lord. Certainly, based on what we've discussed, it does look like some auditors are straying ever so slightly from that straight and narrow path and paying for fake engagement.